Hello, I will show you how to make a confidence interval when we know the population standard deviation. So here's my example. Suppose weights of Bengal tigers are normally distributed and have a known population standard deviation of 38 pounds and an unknown population mean. A random sample of 40 Bengal tigers finds the sample mean to be 483 pounds. Find the confidence interval for the population mean with a 95% confidence level. So let's highlight the important stuff that we know. We have population standard deviation of 38 pounds. We can label that as sigma. Next thing that we know, we have a random sample of 40 Bengal tigers. So that tells me that our sample size, N, is 40. The sample mean, right here, the sample mean is 483 pounds. How do I mark the sample mean? Well, I can label that as X bar. X bar is the sample mean. And then the confidence interval that we're creating has a 95% confidence level. I'll label the confidence level as CL. And 95%, I will convert that to 0.95. Now, what we need to do is, I'm going to demonstrate this in the calculator first. So the first thing that we do is, since we know the standard deviation, we will use z-scores. So in your calculator, hit the stat button. The stat button, now we have choices edit, calculate, and tests. We will be going to tests, but we're not using any of the tests. What we want to use is actually what's known as an interval. And if you scroll down, you'll see that you have some interval options here. There's actually a bunch of interval options, but we're going to go with number 7. So we're going to go stat, tests, and then pick number 7 for z interval. Okay, so we're using z interval and hit enter on that. Now it's asking, do we have data or do we have the stats? Well, data would be used if we put something in list 1 or list 2 and so on. But we did not do that. We have statistics, a summary of statistics given to us. Now, from our reading, we found the sigma to be 38. We found X bar to be 483. And we found the sample size N to be 40. The C level, or our confidence level, is defaulted at 0.95. We will leave that. 95% confidence is the most commonly used in the world. Simple as that. So I'll hit calculate, and now I have made the interval. This is in pounds. All of these units are in pounds. So 471.22 pounds to 494.78 pounds. This is relating to the Bengal tiger's weight. All right. Now, what I'm going to do next, give a little bit of room, that is used all the technology way. Okay, now what if we did this by hand? If we did this by hand, and you can skip over this if your instructor doesn't require that, but if we go by hand we need to find what's called the margin of error. The margin of error I will label as ME. The margin of error comes from z alpha over 2, the z-score for our confidence level, and you multiply that by sigma and divide by the square root of n. Now, in a previous video, you can see that I find the z alpha over 2 for a 95% confidence level, 0.025, to be 1.96. So my margin of error would be 1.96. Now we multiply by sigma, which is 38, and divide by the square root of 40, which is our n. And when we do that, let's use our calculator. So I'll just clear what we did before. 1.96, and then parentheses or times 38 divided by the square root of 40, and then I'll close off the parentheses. I get 11.776. How about I keep another decimal? 3. Now we need to use what's known as the point estimate. The point estimate in this example, since we're dealing with mean, is actually X bar. X bar is 483. Now we will create our interval, now that we know our point estimate is the sample mean. And to create the interval, the lower bound of the interval, you take x bar and you subtract the margin of error. And then the upper bound, you take x bar and you add the margin of error. So we'll take our calculator and take 483 and subtract 11.7763. And that would leave us with 471.22. And we're happy with that. And if you take 483 and add 11.7763, that'll bring us to 494.78. That also matches our interval from before. So you can use the margin of error formula along with your point estimate to create the interval. And the interval will match identical as we did with the button Z interval in our calculator. Now we use Z-scores again when sigma is known. Now after you make your interval, you will make what's called a confidence statement. And I have made our confidence statement right here. So we are 95% confident the true mean weight of all Bengal tigers is between 471.22 pounds and 494.78 pounds. So remember at the very beginning, we said we had an unknown population mean. The unknown population mean, we believe, is somewhere in this interval. We do not know what it is. It's unknown because we don't know all the weights of all tigers, but we are pretty confident, 95% confident, that it's between this range. Now, I did make up these numbers, so this isn't true to the tiger world. Thank you for watching my video.